Hi guys, welcome to my channel Vinyl Beauty, or welcome back. I'm Debbie if you don't know me, and for today's video is the first video of 2022, so I thought it would be great to kick off the year with goals and kind of plans for my channel kind of video. So we're going to do a full face get ready with me, but mainly it's going to be about the chat rather than the makeup, but grab your makeup if you want to get ready with me and let's get started. Okay, hi. So I'm going to do a full face today. As I say, it's not really so much about the makeup. I just really wanted to just sit down and just film a video really and just have a chat with you guys. And yeah, I've decided to do my eyes first today because I want to use the Giant Wolves palette and I want to go in with the black. So I'm going to be using that very scary black. Black's always scary to me, and I always end up with a ton of fallout with black, so I thought we'll do the eyes first, and I want to do kind of a winged out shape so I can use tape and it won't take off my foundation. So that's what we're going to do, so I'll apply the tape first. So guys, how was your new year? What did you get up to, and how is 2022 treating you so far? Well, for me, I've chatted with you guys, some of you anyway, in the comments, but had my COVID booster, so the third jab on New Year's Eve, so I expected to feel really rubbish on New Year's Eve evening, but I didn't feel too bad at all. Managed some wine, which was a bonus. Yeah, so I thought, what can I do, because I've planned not to do anything, and I thought I'd be in bed by about 8 o'clock, to be honest, because normally it takes about 5 or 6 hours for those side effects to kick in for me, and then I feel like I've got flu. So I honestly thought having the jab at midday, yeah, if I managed to last till 8, then I'd have been doing well. But it got to like sort of 6, 7, and I wasn't feeling bad, and 8 and 9, and I was like, you know, I'm going to open the wine now. So had some wine, and I watched a Blu-ray of Barbara Streisand's Timeless concert because it's set on New Year's Eve, the Millennium New Year's Eve. So I thought, perfect way to spend the evening for me, being such a big fan, but it was like a celebration of New Year at the same time. Hubby was watching The Witcher, I think, in the other room. We very seldom watch the same things together, but it was a nice evening. Before that we watched Ricky Gervais's stand-up comedy Humanity, which is hilarious. I'm loving his Afterlife show, and so we thought we'd watch the stand-up comedy as well. Yeah. So that's what I did New Year's Eve, and then the side effects kicked in on New Year's Day and we both felt rubbish and practically did nothing. We went out and got a bit of air in the morning, spent the rest of the day on the couch dying really, which was a bit of a shame. And then yesterday we de-Christmased the house and I changed the background. Yeah, so I don't know if I like it quite so much, but yeah, I always like my Christmas decorations way more than anything else the rest of the year. The only reason I don't do my makeup like this, like going in with eyes first, is don't you look strange with no brows when you're trying to do an eye look. But so we're going in with the NYX palette with Oden's Eye, the Giant Wolves palette, and I'm going to use black, but I'm going to start off with Antipode, this one. I think I might have done a look similar to that when I used it before. I really can't remember. I know I used that shimmer, which I'm not going to use today, and I think I used that one. I'm going to use basically the top row in the black, so it's going to be quite a neutral look today, because I thought it'd be easier to do that whilst talking. So I'm going to start with the Antipode shade. Yeah, so it took ages taking that tree down yesterday. That's the only thing with putting up a lot of decorations, it takes you a long time to pack them all away and put them in the loft and whatever. That's all we did yesterday. And I was sort of planning out some content and sort of thinking about what I want to do. I don't know about you guys, but New Year isn't my favourite time of year at all, because I always feel, first of all, that suddenly you've got to become this like amazing different person to what you were the day before. Like, just because it's a new year, you've suddenly got to have all these plans and goals and everything's all going to be different. You know, you're going to, I don't know, people are going to lose weight, you're going to drink less, you're going to smoke less if you smoke, whatever else, you know, that you've got to give up or do. And you've got to have, if you're a YouTuber, subscriber goals or all of those things. But really, are you a different person than you were on the 31st of December to when it gets to the 1st of January? I know I'm not. And I think sometimes I put all this pressure on myself to be different, to do something different, and it's never going to happen, and then I'm just going to feel miserable because I didn't achieve it. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't have goals in life, that's not it, but maybe just not setting them at the beginning of the year just because it's the beginning of the year and expecting everything to suddenly be different. But for me, I was reflecting on my one for last year, and it was all about, I wanted to maybe increase my subscriber count. Well, that didn't happen. I think I'm on about the same subscribers as I'm on now, and it would be lovely to grow, of course it would, but you do have to put content out, Debbie, if you're going to do that, and I didn't do that. And so you have to sometimes bear in mind all the other things that are going on in your life, and sometimes it's just excuses for me as well, because I could push myself to film, you know, but I'm tired after work and so I don't want to. And this is predominantly a hobby for me, something that I need to enjoy doing. But I'm feeling a lot more like inspired to want to do it this year. And I've got a different mindset to it. So last year I was like, really want to grow, and I honestly thought I would make more content to grow. This year I'm valuing more the friendships that I've made, and those of you that have stuck around from the beginning, or you know, have been long-term subscribers that show up for me all the time. And rather than doing reviews of new makeup in the hopes of getting new subscribers, I want to start making content that you guys are going to really enjoy. So I'm hoping that you might help me with that and let me know what things you have enjoyed or not enjoyed. But I've got a few plans for the year. So talking about makeup purchasing, we'll probably start with that. So last year I started off saying I was going to go on practically a virtual no-buy, but I would, if there was something that I really wanted, I wasn't going to limit myself and I was going to let myself have that. And I kind of still feel a little bit that way. I'm not going to call it anything though, because I think, call it a low buy, no buy or whatever, it's almost like when you go on a diet and you say I'm on a diet, you can't have anything, you just want it all the more. So I'm just not going to focus on makeup as much and wanting to have it. I'm going to watch a lot less YouTube. I certainly started doing that last year and doing other things. But I think the main thing I'm going to do is not shop like a YouTuber. So I think a lot of you guys probably that watch me are shopping like YouTubers as well. So, you know, the minute some new purchase comes out, a new release comes out, and you see it on a few videos, then you feel like you need to own it, and you know, you haven't got a reason to buy it the minute it first comes out, you know. And if you've got a channel, you do feel like that, because you feel like the sooner you can get that video up, the better. But as I say, this is a hobby for me, it's not a career, and I'm not looking to like get 10,000 subscribers, 20,000, 100,000, any of that. I know I would never achieve that anyway. And I think it's probably what I'm going to do more so is watch the reviews. If it's something I'm interested in, I'm really weigh it up a lot more, and I'm going to wait. I'm going to see if like maybe by the end of the month after it's come out, you know, give myself 2 or 3 weeks, do I still want it? I'll give you an example of that, because I was looking at the Beauty Bay Age of Opulence palette, but I kind of knew already that it wasn't for me, because I don't like the shimmers from Beauty Bay. I know that's an unpopular opinion, but they're not for me. But I still kept kind of thinking, do I want this? And I resisted, didn't buy it, and I'm really glad I didn't, because I know I wouldn't want it, I wouldn't really use it, and I was falling for the hype because everybody was showing it. So yeah, I think that's definitely something to bear in mind for me, that I can be guilty of. Alright, I want to get a bit of depth in this look. I'm going to go in with Desolate, this green here. Having said we're kind of keeping it neutral, we're putting a bit of green in the crease now, but just thought it would help with a little bit of depth. And I'm going to use the black on the outer corner, which is why I decided to do my eye makeup first, because black always rains a lot of fallout on me if I'm going in quite hard with it. Don't know if that's made an awful lot of difference to the crease actually. I was showing it quite vivid already. Yeah, so that's definitely one thing I'm going to do. So in terms of like setting a goal for how much I'm going to buy, spend, etc. I was talking about this with my husband on our walk this morning, and I was saying last year, or the year before last, so 2020, I'd bought 100 palettes, and last year I bought 30 or 32 I think it was. So basically a third. So this year the aim is to buy a third of that in palettes, so 10 palettes this year. But I'm not going to set I'm going to buy one palette a month or whatever. There might be some months where there's nothing comes out, and there might be some months where there's 3 things come out, but I'm only going to let myself buy 10, and I think that means that I can, or I need to be really selective. Is this one that I want to add? And that way I can still get some of the things I really want, but eyeshadow is the weakness that I have, and so it will stop me buying anything and everything. So yeah, I'm going to wait. That's the first rule. Make sure I do definitely want it, and that it brings something to my collection. And then, as I say, it's got to be one of my 10 for the year. So I'm going to keep a list of what I've bought, so that it's not a shock at the end of the year when I pull everything out and I go, oh my god, how have I bought all this amount of makeup, you know? Right, in with the black. Annihilation. Let's hope we don't annihilate the look now. So I'm going in with the exact blend brush so that it doesn't get too crazy. Although I do want this to be quite a vivid, or not vivid, but dramatic look, I suppose. So packing that black in the outer corner. I always think if I've got a tape down, it stops it getting too crazy. It's a nice black though, not got too much fallout actually. I thought the benefit of doing a full face is it doesn't really matter what order I do it in, although it does feel really weird doing your eyes first to me. I know a lot of people do it that way. Yeah, we're getting a bit of fallout now. I'm really packing that on. Alright, going to take the tapes off. Oh, and there's still hot fallout under the tapes. Yeah, definitely was a good idea to use the tapes. But at least it's easier to clean up. I like the shape that tape creates, so it's different to when I try and do my own winged out look. Okay, so lower lash line. Going to go in just with a neutral pencil. This is from the Tinkerbell collection. As I say, I was promising I'm going to use a lot of the things I bought. This was one of the collections I bought, so I want to use this one today. Oh, is that dark enough though? I think I need to sharpen it already. There's nothing to actually use. It feels weird sharpening a plastic pencil, but I'm sure this is what you meant to do with these. That's better, I've got something to actually use now. For the lower lash line, I'm going to line kind of my lower lash line with Annihilation, that black. So although this is going to be a fairly neutral look, it will still be quite a dramatic look. I don't want to just tie that in with where we've got that little bit of a wing going on there. I want it all the way along. It's a bit junky in the corners from that primer, but we'll sort that out. Yeah, I don't know if I like doing my eyes first, it feels very strange. So that's kind of my first, don't want to say rules, because as I said before, I don't know if these rules really end up working. You'll have to let me know guys if you set rules, budgets, etc. But for me, it doesn't seem to really work. And I'm just going to go into the Antipode shade again underneath. The other thing I've noticed when I was making the video sort of rounding up everything I'd bought in the year 2021 was that I bought hardly any base products whatsoever. Just blending this in underneath there. I don't know if that was a good decision actually, but I've done it now. So I love my Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. That's nearly out, so I'm definitely going to buy a new one of those, but I want to try some new base products this year, and I do like higher end foundation. I've been using my No. 7 one all year and it's lovely, but whenever I use my Luminous Silk I always feel more special in that, and it just suits me so well. So I'll buy another one of those, but I also probably want to try another couple of foundations and concealers this year as well. Blend this corner in. We're in trouble here. I'm not doing it this way round again. So definitely try some more concealers. I only ever buy the same concealers all the time. No additional product now, just gonna see if we can sort this mess out in this outer corner. So yeah, concealer. Maybe might even try some more brow products, because I always use my same things for that, which is the Infinity palette by Linda Hallberg, which I do love. It'd be good to see if there's something else out there that suits me as well, so kind of thinking that that might be a good thing to try. But yeah, pretty much there's not a huge amount of things that I want to try, if I'm honest with you. Eyeshadow is my biggest weakness, followed by blush, and I'm not a single eyeshadow girl, luckily, because I know how much that can mount up for those that are into all of these shifty sparkly shades. I'm not into that. Never really liked single shadows. I mean, they make beautiful looks, but I just think it ends up so expensive to do. I'm a bit of a bargain hunter. Right, I'm going to use NYX Glitter Primer now. So, not going to be getting into those. As I say, less palettes. I've got plenty of highlight and blush, although blush is one of my weaknesses in makeup, as you guys know. Yeah, I think I'm going to concentrate a bit more on face products, or base products should I say, so particularly foundation and concealer, and maybe a stick version of a highlight, because I've got no stick highlighters. I think they can look really pretty. But that's really what I've got my eye on. And then palette wise, as I say, I'm going to allow myself to buy some, but they've got to be something that's a bit different. And I think for this year, I don't know what you guys think, but I think neutrals are going to have a resurgence. I'm beginning to really enjoy a bit more of a neutral look just lately. And I hear a lot of people talking about how they're going to dip into neutrals more, they're going to allow themselves to use neutrals. As I said before, I always feel a bit prettier when I wear neutrals. Not to say that I'm giving up colourful makeup, absolutely not. I love the creativity of it. I've been looking at the Blend Bunny Dollhouse palette, so that's #1 at the moment on my kind of wish list. But I'm going to wait, as I say, it came out yesterday as I'm filming this, and I'm not going to buy it until I've waited the rest of the month, and I'll see if there's anything else that kind of beats it for me, and if not, then I might let myself buy that, because it's neutrals done for people that like colour, you know, there's pops of colour in there. I know the Blend Bunny formula's amazing, so yeah, that might be a purchase, but I'm not going to do it just yet. Right, I'm going to go in with the gold shade Flare. It's not going to be any sort of like complicated special kind of look really. Just wanted to use this palette again. I'm going to pack that shade pretty much all over the lid though. It's a pretty shade. So what can you expect from me on my channel? Well, I've kind of dabbled with the idea of having a proper upload schedule, because I think it would be nice for you guys to know when to expect a video from me. I know it's better in the whole algorithm thing, but I also know I've got a hellish year coming up with work where I'm going to be really busy, particularly in the first 3 months of the year. Boss has already told me it's going to be a worse year in terms of the amount of workload and stress I've got, so that's something to look forward to, isn't it? So I don't want to put too much pressure on myself to like have to get a video up by a certain day. But I thought what I'd start by doing is trying to promise you guys 2 videos a week, so kind of one in at the weekend and one in the week. That's what I'm aiming for, and if I don't manage it every week then that's fine, but I'll be a hell of a lot more consistent than last year if I manage that, because there were some times when I went 2 or 3 weeks with no video. And I'm going to start some series or research some series that I've done before, so I know you guys like it when I do the inspired by my vinyl collection videos, so I love doing those. They're one of my favourites to do. I also want to film with my vinyl collection, so nothing to do with makeup, which I know won't be for everybody, but as I say, this is my hobby and it's something that I enjoy doing. I'm not looking to build my channel and become a makeup influencer or anything, so why not do the things that I want to do on my channel, and if they get views they do, and if they don't they don't, but hopefully some of you will enjoy that stuff as well and I'll enjoy making it. But yeah, definitely makeup looks inspired by vinyl artwork could be fun. Now I'm going to go in the shade Astral, this one in the corner. So that's going to be a series. I'm going to keep doing my palettes of the past. I'm going to do kind of a roundup of the releases that have come out in the month that have tempted me, and kind of my decision process of if I did buy anything, why it was over all those things that have come out, you know, why did I pick the thing that I picked. I think it might be nice to kind of reflect back on the things that I didn't get and why I didn't get them, and then the things I did and why. pretty much like I did at the end of the year, but like just more on a monthly basis. It'll give me a chance to talk about things that are current that you guys might want to talk about, but it'll sort of help us to resist the temptation together. Maybe we can discuss the things that we've seen, because I know a lot of you are on a low buy or a no buy, and so we are going to be tempted by these things. So let's dissect them. Why are we tempted by them? What's good about them, and why do we potentially not need them if we don't want to get them? So I thought I might do that kind of towards the end of each month, and I'd like to do a few more collabs. Last year I did very few collabs. I didn't get asked to do any actually, but I might be brave and reach out to a few of my friends and ask them if they'd like to collab, because I like to bring back a few more makeup challenges, so some palette bingos, face-offs, and just different ways of using the shadows that I have. I'm also thinking of doing like a collector's corner, so like using some of my collector's pieces of makeup and kind of talking about those a little bit. But I'd love to know what other ideas that you guys have got for my channel and what you would like to see. As I say, I want to do a bit more like talking about makeup videos and not necessarily just always applying it, because that again is what takes the time. I'm loving this shade. I'm trying to like blend it in with the original shade. This is so pretty, and it almost blends like seamlessly between like the flare shade and this shade. It's really pretty. I do want to just sort of bring that around a little bit. So yeah, that's kind of the plans for my channel, and I think I might try and upload at a set time as well. So I play about with the time that I upload all the time, but I'm thinking maybe something like 5 PM UK time would be good, something like that. So then those of you that are in the UK, the video's there when you get home from work, and those of you that are in the US, it's kind of like probably going to be there from lunchtime for you guys. I mean, I know you can watch a video at any time after it goes up, but just thought that might be a good way to do it. Okay, I want to outline this crease a little bit with a bit of the black. I do want to just make this a little bit more like a cut crease, I think. See, you don't have to make looks boring just because they're with more neutral shades. You can still be fairly creative with the placement, I think. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. Bring a little bit of fun back to it, you know, doing combinations of makeup that are difficult to do by doing the bingos. Nobody does those anymore. All of the channels that I used to watch do them have grown so much that they're doing more and more reviews of new products and less of this sort of quote unquote fun content, you know. So I thought I could bring some of that fun stuff back. Now I've added that, I need to blend above it. This could go on, this look. You know when you do something you're like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that because that's not made it better. Let's just blend a little bit more of that antipode shade out just to see if we can rescue this corner here. Might look better then. I could have gone a bit higher with that anyway. Now I've got the lids down. I think that was a green look and not a neutral look at all. Have you noticed? So I hope that all sounds quite good to you, you know, doing the more vinyl inspired looks, the makeup challenges, maybe some collabs with friends if I can persuade them to do it. Rounding up the releases that have come out and what's tempted me. Just using a lot of what we've got though, and inspiring you to create looks, but maybe chatting about some makeup a little bit more than I have done in the past year. I want to take time for myself and just really enjoy the makeup applying process. Sometimes when I'm tired and stressed, I don't apply makeup at all because it feels like another chore. And I always feel better if I've got a full face of makeup on or I've put something nice onto it. I think that's the thing with working from home, it's so easy not to bother. So I want to change that. I want to feel like I'm, yeah, making the effort a little bit more. And I'm trying to read a lot more because I've talked about this before on my channel, but I do suffer with quite a bit of anxiety. Like I'm feeling quite anxious today. I've had 17 days off work and tomorrow's my first day back, and I'm already like got the dreads in the pit of my stomach at the thought of it. I know it'll be fine when I go back in, but I just get worked up about things. So doing things like makeup or reading, it just like transports you to another world for a bit and you can't think about anything else. I think it's very powerful for your mental health to have some hobbies like that. Right, I think that's the best we're going to get this. I'm going to clean up this kind of wing area where it's gone a bit junky when I put the foundation on. So for foundation we're going in with the Luminous Silk, because why not? I've had it about 2 years. I need to use it rather than keeping things for best. That's another thing I need to do for sure. And this one always looks so pretty on me, I think. It's just the perfect foundation. In terms of like personal goals, as I say, I want to get my anxiety under control, but a lot of the things that I've sort of planned to do will help with that. So I love walking. Last year started off really bad because I'd got a broken toe and I carried on walking through that for a couple of months, and then I couldn't walk for a couple of months because of it, because it was hurting really bad. So this year I'm starting with no issues like that, and I was doing, once I sort of got over that, I was doing 6 miles a day, and I want to keep that up. Don't think I can really go much more than that in terms of walking a day, just time wise really, because it does take up a hell of a lot of time. But I want to increase the pace for sure. But it's one of the singular things that I think you can do for your health that literally costs you nothing to do. And I've lost 3/4 of a stone in the last 6 months just from walking. I've not cut down my food or my alcohol intake. That's always an issue with me. I love my wine. But yeah, I've not cut down on any of those things, and just seen the weight coming off, which I didn't start the walking for that reason, but it is nice, because one thing they don't tell you about getting older is it's way harder to keep your weight under control. Like since I went through the menopause, which I was 43, it all started to go south after that. I used to be able to eat anything, literally whatever I wanted, and I never put an ounce on, and I was a size, UK size 8 to 10, and I've only ever gone up to like a UK 12, but all of my wardrobe is a 8 to 10 and I haven't bought anything new. And just being able to get into some of those old pairs of jeans again, oh, it's just been a thrill, I just can't tell you. So that's a very nice byproduct of doing the walking, because I don't feel like I've had to deny myself anything. And you know, I never like to look at food like that, like you can't have this, you can't have that. So I don't think that's a healthy way to be. So I eat fairly well in the week, but I always have chocolate every day. Generally have a glass of wine most days. You know, life's for living and for doing the things you enjoy doing. So I'm still going to do those things, but being able to lose some weight without really even trying, that's a good thing. Doing something that you enjoy as well. So when I'm walking, I listen to podcasts or to music, but I always go on my own. And then I was talking to one of my friends over Christmas, and she used to do really long hikes, but she wants to get back into walking, but not with a hiking group who walks so much further than she can really do. And I think she was feeling like awkward always being at the back, like that's not a good motivational thing, is it? So she was saying, should we do a bit more walking together? Gosh, I still hate that corner of the eye. What can I do with it? How am I going to fix that? It just doesn't look right, does it? Oh, is that a bit better? I'm going to keep fiddling with that until I've probably ruined it, because that's sometimes what happens. Just want to fill it in so it looks a bit more like it meets that side. That's a bit better, I think. I'm just not used to doing it this way around. It's been a challenge. And it still looks really strange without eyebrows. I'm not going to set my face yet. I might just set the under eyes, but I want to use a couple of cream products for my cheeks. So I'm going to try this Born This Way powder for my under eyes. I never use it, and it's not translucent is the thing. It's supposed to be translucent, but it does add a little bit of colour, I think. But it's not that bad a powder. I need to just get it used. I just want to set my under eyes really, because stop the creases. I am going to go in with a bit of contour, but because I haven't set my cheeks, this could go horribly wrong, but I'm going to use my contour book as I always do. Just be very light-handed so it doesn't stick anywhere, but I always feel like I need a little bit of definition from this palette. That's probably as much as we need, but it just helps suck those cheeks in a little. So I want to start walking with her, and then I've got another friend who's got a dog, my best friend who I talk about, and she wants to see me more. And you know, I'm just terrible for like keeping in touch with people and having friends in real life, even friends online actually. I'm not the best at like replying to things, and I get into my own funk and I just don't want to talk to anybody. But I want to change that this year, get a lot more outgoing, make some more friends in real life as well. That would be nice, because I don't have many, well, I only really have 2 friends in real life, which is quite sad. So I want to try and, yeah, be more outgoing, get to know a few more people. So that's another little goal for me. I thought I might try and see her and probably go out walking or do something at least once a month, because I don't want to do things that are not to do with shopping, obviously with what's going on with the pandemic. Don't want to be in a shop really. Right, so I'm going to use Darling from the Super Shocks that came with the Tinkerbell collection, because I didn't use this one when I did my video on these, and it looks a lovely colour. I think I applied it with this brush when I used it last time. Yeah, I think I did. It's working alright anyway. I thought it would be a good colour to go with the eye look, because it's got a bit of sort of oranginess about it. Sort of terracotta-y orange though. It's more like a autumny colour, I think, but kind of autumny weather out there today. We haven't had the cold weather that I love in winter yet, really. It's been the warmest New Year's on record, I think, in the UK. Like 15, 16 degrees on New Year's Day. But other than that, that's about all I've got to tell you. Not a lot of kind of goals. I've definitely not set myself, as I say, a subscriber goal this year. I mean, ideally in my mind, I'd love to get to 2,000, but I don't know what's going on with subscriber counts on YouTube or on Instagram, but I gain 2 and lose 5 all the time. Like every time I upload, I'll lose probably 5 and then I'll gain 2 or 3. And I've been stuck at the same value for, it's got to be 6 months. I've just not grown at all. I think that's the thing with not doing reviews, because reviews are what get you noticed or bring in new subscribers, because people are looking for reviews on products, whereas the sort of content I do is more like for you guys that already know me, which I love doing. So, you know, I want to balance. I want to do YouTube on my own terms and do the things I love, but I would like to grow a little bit, if I'm honest. Right, we're going to use the No7 Skin Illuminator. I used this a lot when I first bought it, and then I kind of stopped using it. I don't know why, because it is really nice. It's one of these that you sort of melt into the skin with your fingers best, I think. But it's not a sort of crazy highlight, but it's shiny and wet, so I thought that could look nice over that blush that we've used. And then I might use a powder highlight to set it after. But yeah, I want to get one of those stick highlighters, I think. I want to try some different kind of formulas of things. I do stick to the same things a lot. I think cream products are a bit more tricky though. And messy, got it all over me. Okay, so rest of the powder, I think. We could powder over those cheeks now. Just set everything down a little bit. The problem with this powder is you can't get anything out the sifter. And if something's difficult to use, I don't use it. And now I've got too much on the brush, and all of that glow that I've applied, I've managed to get rid of. It's not going well, is it? But no, I think that's created a nice base. So highlighter to top this kind of glow we've got going on. I'm going to go in with the Space Age Prophecy highlight from Kaleidos. Love this one. I was so tempted to get the Gifted, but it's a lot of money just to buy a highlighter to like pay the shipping and everything to get it here. So I didn't get it, and I don't know how much different it will really end up looking on the cheeks, to be honest with you. So I thought, I've got a multi-chrome highlighter, do I need 2 multi-chrome highlighters? So I taught myself out of it, but they are magical. Just like really catches the light in a magical way, kind of green to peach in this one. I'll take a bit of time just to blend it in though. But yeah, I see it from Space Highlighter, as you guys know. I like those. Right, I think that's everything for the look that we're going to do together. I'm going to hop off camera, do brows, mascara and a lip, and I'll be back with you to wind up the video. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I really love how it turned out. I started off in my head thinking it was going to be quite a neutral look. I don't think anyone would really call this particularly neutral, but it's quite striking, although it's using a bit more neutral shades, and I think that's my natural home for neutrals. If it's going to be a neutral kind of colour palette, then I want to do something a little bit more daring and dramatic with that. And those sparkly shadows, the two shimmers I've used, they're just so pretty, glistening there. That's the kind of shadow I like. You know, it's not got those real like fall down glitter particles, but that it's shimmery and kind of catches the light in different ways and is sparkly, and those have definitely got that. For my lips today, I've gone in with Lunar Beauty's Hallows Eve, because when I did my rundown of everything I'd bought in 2021, I'd completely forgotten I'd bought this and I just wanted to use it today. Whether it's the perfect shade for the eye look, I don't know, but I think it goes okay. Probably wouldn't have been the colour I would have chosen to match it, but sometimes not matching can be cool, I think. So yeah, really enjoyed doing this one. I hope you enjoyed just hearing me ramble on a little bit incoherently about plans for my channel. I hope the things I've got in store appeal to you guys. I'd love suggestions down in the comments of what you would like to see me do, what palettes you'd like to see me play with. What I probably won't be doing too much of is multiple looks, one palettes, because they do take forever to film, and it would mean probably if I get 2 or 3 filming opportunities a week, then it would only make one video, and I'd like to try and at least get 2 videos up a week for you. But you know, I'm happy to have suggestions of what palettes you'd like to see next, and yeah, what content you want to see from me that's not necessarily to do with buying new makeup, of course, and reviewing new makeup. So yeah, that would be lovely. But hope you're having a great 2022 so far, on day 3 of it, but I hope it started well for you guys. I hope you're keeping safe and well and having a lovely day or night wherever you are. Hopefully catch you in the next one. Bye guys.